Now it's my great honor to welcome Mrs. Miranda Ruchtie, President Marketing of the European Federation of Homeopathic Patients Associations, board member of Eurocam's Executive Committee, and longtime policy officer and project manager. The floor is now open for her presentation titled Patients Equal Power. Welcome, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Oh. Patience equals power. When patients lead, progress will follow. Every patient has the fundamental right to shape their own healthcare journey. Okay. Yet too often, these voices are missing, where it matters most, at the tables where policies are written, budgets are set, and systems are designed. You already got a brief introduction of myself. I'm Miranda Ruchtie. Since a year, I'm the President Marketing of the European Federation of Homeopathic Patients Association, and I'm also working now for 8 years for Eurocam, the platform for CAM modalities in Europe. And I also want to highlight two persons I work really closely with in the EFPA. That is Crystal Scaling-Klopstock. She is president for the international relations, and Annemieke Laan for the Dutch Patients Association, who is really dedicated to to bring the voice of the patients at the table. But why should you listen to us? Well, we need to get patients involved in all countries. EFPA has decades of experience in patients' work, advocacy work, and marketing and communications. We are 26 years old at the moment, not me, but the organization. And we have 22 members in 15 countries. Our important aims are support homeopathic patients groups in every country, European country and abroad, foster links in the TCIH field, and promote the positive aspects of homeopathy. We collaborate with on international and European level. That's the LMHI, ECH, that are the homeopathic doctors, and ECCH and ICH homeopathic practitioners. Furthermore, we work with WHO, Global Center for Traditional Medicine, Eurocam, eChamp, HRI, and the TCIH Coalition. We are all aware of homeopathy's challenges. We increasingly effective opposition in homeopathy. Authorities ignoring research evidence and patient choice, and diminishing availability and access to medicines and practitioners. But what is needed to help shift this negative tide? Putting patients truly in the center and creating patients' associations. Patients are our most valuable asset. Patients raise awareness. Patients are funders, and patients are the strongest advocates. And that's almost always forgotten. Patients share experience. This leads to increased demands for homeopathy, a greater knowledge of homeopathy's potential, and a higher income for practitioners. You know, a patient's narrative is much more compelling to hear than a story from a practitioner or a scientific person, or academics. It's so important that the patient's voice will be heard and that their narratives are shared worldwide. A patient's funds. It's also that patients fundraise for projects and activities. Grateful patients leave gifts in wills. Patients can volunteer expertise, make personal connections to strengthen homeopathy. And for instance, the grateful patients leave gifts in wills. We have really good examples in the Netherlands. I will show later on how the Netherlands works. But they got really good leaves from wills. It's really high amounts, serious money where you can make a difference. And patients are the strongest advocates because patients are unbiased and not financially benefiting from homeopathy. Patients can speak up as voters, parents, and citizens, have professional and personal connections, allies in a fight for legitimacy and recognition. As an organized group, advocacy actions are far, far more powerful. And patients educate their community. You cannot educate the world alone. Your patients can. They reach their community, their family and friends, and they speak with passion about their experience as evidence. Harnessing the unique power of patients is critical to the resilience and growth of homeopathy and other TCIH modalities globally. And for me, it's really important to note that this is I'm talking here for EFPA, the Homeopathic Patients Association, but this is for all modalities, really important. And what we see is that at least in the European, on the European level, that the patients' associations are not that strong. And one of the strongest associations are the homeopathic patients associations. So hopefully this is a lesson and advice to bring home and see if you can do more for your patients association, patient groups. Harnessing the unique power of patients is critical to the resilience and growth of homeopathy and other TCH modalities globally. I want to give here a good example. It's the Dutch Homeopathy Patients Association. The managing director, Annemieke Laan, is really passionate and focusing on her strategy on communications and marketing to bring homeopathy and healthcare forward in the Netherlands. And she really goes from small roots to a large association. For instance, when she started in the Netherlands, she was asked for a really small salary to help the Homeopathy Association to grow. She went with bottles of wine, French wine, to all the industries, the Homeopathic Association, and they asked for support and help. And she managed to do that. She was really determined in that. But I will lead you to how she works. For instance, she started an Instagram strategy and her target audience are young women. And the key goals are raise awareness about homeopathy and promote training and education opportunities and recruit new members and promoting webinars. And they aim to reach 1 million consumers. And this is focused on the younger group, young women who get kids, have kids, and to get them to get in touch with them. On Facebook, they're informing about homeopathy. This is another group. It's an older group, and they inform there on science, news, and recruiting new members. And their reach is 5 million people per year. And also the website is focusing on the scientific research, informing about homeopathy. And what's really nice, there is also a searchable database where you can search for an homeopath in your neighborhood. And they reach 500,000 unique visitors each year. And they have every time different topics. So you can see here it's about hay fever, and they follow the seasons or other important topics what they can use in their publicity. And what they also have is a homeopathy app. In the Netherlands, it's not allowed to have a description of the remedy on the package. So they thought about it, how they could help the consumers. So they decided to develop a homeopathy app. And in that app, you can scan the code on the package, and then they have all the information about the remedy. And it is really popular and works very well. And then they have the Homeopathy magazine. Since this month, it's also digital. It's not only, you can ask for a digital version. And it's full of information, the same as but online, but here is also patient stories and interviews. Patience equals power. Patients are the movement. We need them to bring homeopathy further. We can ask constantly doctors and practitioners and everyone in our community to bring homeopathy further. But we have seen for decades now, we need to do it in another way. And we need to focus on what the patients can do for us and listen to what they want. And I want to ask you to be part of the movement, that we need to do it together. We need to educate our patients. We need to skill them with advocacy tools. We need to inform them which message they could bring for us, and then they can work for us and bring homeopathy further. For instance, we will start now also a platform where we will share video testimonials from patients. We will start in Europe and slowly start to do it international. And we will keep it low key. That will mean that we ask patients to make a video with their phone, make it not too designed or whatever, and do it in their own language and tell in 1 minute about why they are so passionate about the treatment with homeopathy. And to build something powerful, patients, practitioners, and industry, we need together, and we have to listen to the patient as well. Quick takeaways: patients' associations are powerful. If you don't have a patient association in your country, you should consider how you can create one. Working collaboratively with patients and creating a patient group can be an incredible positive step in making homeopathy more robust in your country. If you do have a patient association in your country, please get involved. And we also see now in the different countries that they try to set up a patient group of a patient association, but it is not that easy, because you can, as a practitioner, you can be really enthusiastic about that idea, but you need to find patients who have the time, the skills to set up a patients association. So what we're trying now to help the practitioners to find people who can do that for them and advise them. We do that with in Zoom meetings on a regular basis, and so we try to do everything to get them involved, because sometimes they have financial support, because that's another thing. It costs money to start a patient group or association, but they don't have the people available. And on the other hand, there is also a country who don't has the money available, but they have some person who can do it. But what they did, for instance, was that they work now closely together with another chem modality group. And if you combine them and try to share then and start from that point a patients association, then at least you start something. So if you need any assistance or any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to EFPA. These are our email addresses, and I have a leaflet there in front. So I don't know if someone has a question.
Hello. I would like to ask myself, how can patient involvement help overcome skepticism and improve recognition of TCIM and CAM therapies among policymakers and publics from your point of view?
Yeah, well, skeptical people are always difficult, but it's really important when you determined and enthusiastic and can explain the results of your treatment and how life-changing it is. then people will see it and they will change their mind. But last time on a Dutch television, there was a member of the European Parliament, and they said, we have always the pharmaceutical industry at our table. Every time in a week, every day, they are there and they want to speak with us. There is no civil society patients who are at our table. And we understand that they don't have the money, but we need to hear their voice. So, you know, I know there is a financial struggle as well. FPA works on a voluntary base. And, you know, we work really, really, really hard. And it is Thomas who gives us the opportunity. He pays for my hotel accommodation and part of my travel expenses that I could come here. But we do it on a voluntary base. So we need every time find someone who can help us to bring our message to you. And it's so important that you will get involved, that you help us. And I understand that it's not always that easy and that you don't have a solution now at this moment. But please take our leaflet, think about it, and you can always send us a message. Yeah.
Hi. Hello. Thanks for the presentation. I look at a lot of clinical research, and I have come across the occasional research in homeopathy, but I also noticed stuff being pulled from journals. Is it something that you see in the industry where it's difficult to have the clinical studies published in various databases of journals?
No, I'm not aware of that. Yeah, I hear sometimes things about it, but I can't really answer this question. But maybe there's someone else who can give some input on that. No. But still then, and what another development what we see is the citizen science and collecting good practice. Because that's also, if you do it in the correct way, that's all, we can present it also to politicians. Are there other questions or suggestions?
I say only a word of thanks. Thank you.
What?
Only a word of thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, I think it's worthwhile that patients have the possibility to learn what is the different homeopathic medicinal products are for. However, since I try to pursue the classical part of homeopathy, sometimes for patients it may be misleading because they think, oh, this remedy is for this and this is for that. How can you prescribe this for a totally different situation? So I think it's good to teach the public. On the other hand, it should always be made clear that this is just one part. And I recommend very much to use homeopathy in acute situations for emergencies. This is very easy. But especially for chronic cases, I think the public should be aware that this is not only possible. But otherwise, you are correct, and maybe we should also start a patients' association in Austria.
Okay, thank you. And I agree with you, but I want to add something. At the Dutch Patients Association, they have every year a homeopathy festival. And there you can subscribe for a short homeopathic consult. It's for free, it's online, it's only, I think, 15 minutes. But what is important there, that people get more familiar with homeopathy. And they always, someone will come with a specific topic, and then they explain how homeopathy works and that they can make an appointment because they need a longer consult to prescribe a remedy. So, and that is really popular in the Netherlands at the moment as well. And we see that people who subscribe for such a short consult, that they ask that they will look for a practitioner or a homeopathic doctor to ask for a real consult. So, but I understand your problem with over-the-counter remedies. But we need something to get people familiar with homeopathy. Yeah.
Miranda, have you some members here of the Czech
Patients Association
of the Czech organization, patients organization?
No.
Czech homeopathic.
No. But we have. There are my colleagues from the ECCH here, and from the ECH. These are here, but not from Patients Association. No.
But you have members here in Czech.
No. Oh no, we haven't. So we need to start as well.
Haven't?
Yeah, yeah.
So this could be a moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm really stubborn and determined to broaden, so and I'm still here.
Hello. Thank you for your presentation. It was very nice. I want to ask, you are collecting this patient data to publish somewhere in as a evidence, or it's just for awareness of homeopathy?
No, we don't collect data because that's not what the Patients Association does at the moment. But what I'm promoting that all the other the ECH, ECH, LMHI, ICH, that they and ANME, that they start working on how to collect data and to bring that on the table. But this is a scientific project, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a. Do you have anyone in India also?
What do you have?
Do you have your project in India also?
No.
No. Okay, in India there is one website. There was a question of clinical evidence.
Mm-hmm.
So there is one government website where homeopaths can publish their cases, successful cases, and it is checked by government, and then they can publish their successful cases on this website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Are there other questions? Okay. My email address is miranda@fpa.io. And I'm really curious how many emails I have in my mailbox on Monday with advice, with ways to how we can connect and how we start a patient group. Okay? Thank you so much.